Who wants to talk about making money? Hey! All right, I guess tonight we're going to talk about hopefully saving money. Welcome to Rig. This is the biggest crowd our group has had in probably 2 years. Who cares about Corona? Drink up. Yeah. Welcome to Rig. I'm glad to have every one of you here. A lot of old faces that have come back home. Not old, that is in good long-time friends. And we've got a lot of new people here tonight. We're going to be able to go around and everybody can say, I am, and this is what I do. But you got to start thinking about it now. It's got to be quick. Manfred, you don't even get a turn. It's got to be quick because I want to give everybody a chance to talk, but we want to save as much time as we can for Manfred. Manfred's the reason we're here tonight. Welcome to Rig. We've been helping investors since 2012. We started a little group way over in, where did we go? Over by Louisville. Yep. Well, we even started even a little smaller place in Mud Rocks. Yes. We started out. That one was a smaller one. We started out in a coffee shop. Yep.
Just so you know, Arenado's up. You don't care.
Oh, come on now, Squirt. Is he in? What's he invest in?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you hear me online? I should be unmuted. Man, you're going to kill me because evidently we're not.
The forward button's not working.
I'll figure it out as we go. There we go. I think you know how the Frolic Brewing works. They let us have a room if we drink, we eat, and we tip. Because at the end of each night, the staff gets together, and go, how were they? Yeah, no, and we get to come back if we get the thumbs up. We love these guys. This is the house mom right here. She keeps everybody in line, including me. If you don't know, if you're thirsty, you want to go green up. If you're content, you don't need anything, red up. And water stations in the back, so you do your own water. Our first meeting, we forgot to talk about that. About halfway through the meeting, everybody's thirsty, hungry. And it was like, oh, yeah, they're not going to come bother you unless you got to think of it. There's our agenda. I'm going to talk real fast so I can get through all the good stuff, or not all the fluff, so we can get to Manfred. But we always throw this slide up. We talk about due diligence. You may hear some really great stuff tonight about a great deal or an investor that's just a rock star. Don't take anybody's word for it. Go home and do due diligence. Find out about the deal. Find out about the person. It's up to you to research that. You know, there's a lot of deals that you may hear about here, and we don't endorse anything because we can't. But it's up to you. And ask around if you know people. We're all over the social media. I guess I need to add Eventbrite on there because we got the guys in the back corner. They said they found us via Eventbrite. So glad you guys are here. Our Facebook is very active. It's as of I think this was this morning. We got 3582 as members. It's a very active Facebook group. We've got members across the country. We've actually got members across the blue, international members on there. It's very active. If you say, hey, I need an electrician today, or I need rocks. I think somebody posted today they need rocks removed from the yard or something like that. You make your post, and a lot of times you get an answer pretty quick. If you become a member, you can go in there and say, hey, I have a deal I would like to sell, or I have the services I would like to promote. That mean, yes, you, Manfred, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't working before that. I fell down. By the way, we have 4 seats here at this table.
If you're crowded, we got some seats up here. Yes. It's very active Facebook. If you're members, you can promote your deals and promote your services. And talking about members, oh, God, this is killing me. We've got 3 levels of membership. As most of you know, first-time visitors are free. Come as our guest. After that, we'll ask you to either buy a membership or pay a per-member meeting, per-meeting fee. Can't talk. I'm talking too fast. $100 for an individual membership. You get access to the website. You can come to all the meetings. And our meetings also include, we take a break in June and December and get away from here. You can do a little less fun when we have a party. Last month, we had an awesome party in the park. Dave's daughter sang. We got our newest business member out of the deal. And the cool thing about the park, several people, because we're in the park, saw our banners and all the excitement, they came up and they've signed up to find out more about rigs. So anyway, we have a party in the summer and then in wintertime.
Hey, Jim, the best part of being a member is
Membership gets you 2 wooden nickels. Drinks are on me if you buy your membership. If you and a business partner, a significant other wants to join together, you can save $25 and become a partner membership. And then we talked about business members. If you do the $250, you get a little bit more deal. Each month we pick a different business member and we kind of showcase them. And we promote them on all our different social media sites. And we try to point people to them. If you're a business member and you say, oh, let's say roofing, our newest guy is a roofing guy. And if somebody goes on Facebook and goes, I need a roofer, guess what we're going to say? I'm like, call my buddy Christian, call him right now. Or if you need handyman, we got 2 different, well, one guy's trying to get out of the gig, but we've got contractors and handyman. And speaking of businessmen and handyman, tonight's member, or this month's member, is Mr. Gerard. Mr. Gerard, where are you? Right here, come on up. All right. And this isn't working for some reason. We'll talk out video slides. Yeah. Hi, I'm Gerard.
we need a mic, Joe.
Oh, there it works. It's working now.
Oh, there you go. But he needs a mic. You have to hold it.
Can you hear me now?
No, I haven't turned it on. Hold on. Now.
How about now? Can you hear
Speak
me
a
now?
little- Speak a little louder. Speak a little louder.
All right. So my name is Gerard, and about 3 years ago, I started this business called 1833 My Fix It. I basically named the business after a 1-800 number that I found to keep things simple. Right? Started out as a handyman, and I'm rebranding because of my general contractor's license and some new opportunities in construction. And there really is a focus on my business in overall rehab. Because I've somehow, I guess the catalyst for joining this group was that I acquired a number of different investors, and I helped them get their rentals ready. I helped them get the rentals ready to sell, and I helped them find new rentals and split units up into multiple units. So that's the part where I'm licensed insured and experienced. But overall, my background beyond the 3 years, I was raised by my grandfather. I'm told everyone likes this story because it's about a grandpa. Raised by my grandpa, he was a master plumber, and all summers and after school, because back then there really wasn't any daycare and whatnot. You just went where the grown-ups were. So I went along on service calls as young as 8 years old, and from there I kind of developed a work ethic, and I learned a lot of things because he could never really say no, even though he was a licensed plumber. And there would be a lot of customers asking him to do things that weren't plumbing. So I learned how to do a lot of things. And like I covered before, I'm currently in a transition from handyman to, like you see here, rehab construction. And we already talked about the investors. A lot of my business is make-readies. So getting houses ready to sell, getting houses ready to rent. I've recently acquired a number of luxury homes that have very interesting needs, which is what I was doing today. And then as a third thing, or a final thing, the construction part of my business is building out in terms of accessory dwelling units. So I recently signed a contract to assemble prefab accessory dwelling units, and they range everything from she sheds to 3-car garages. So that's what's exciting. And given the current environment, I'm having difficulty hiring. So if anybody knows anybody that has skills in building and whatnot, yes, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Read from other states. Yeah,
Across the board.
or other countries. So if anybody knows anybody who's looking for work, I would gladly mentor. So, and in final, that's basically it.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sure. All right. All right, guys. You got to help me out here. I want to give everybody a chance. Quick. We're going to start right here, all the way from the UK. Probably our longest distance investor. Richard, go for it. Show them how to do it. Okay. You guys did pretty good. You don't get it. You don't get it.
No, I know that. I've got that in my presentation.
We're going to go through this real quick. Anybody have a want that they want to share? A deal. Member or guest, you get to share your deals. Anybody. We're moving on.
All right.
We do have one here. It's a storage facility in 113 units. It's actually, I think, 3 properties.
Yeah.
And you get a U-Haul franchise out of it. This is from Kevin, one of my board members, and I'm just flying through it. But if you're interested, there's his information right there. Where is it?
It's in Missouri.
Missouri. And we've heard about this so many times, everybody knows about John Fisher. So they are one of our business partners. Tim has been here several times up front presenting and sharing wealth of knowledge. And we got the pretty part of the company here tonight. So you need to go, if you're serious about investing, you need to go there. The only drawback is you gotta be done what, 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. But the traffic is sweet, the parking is sweet, the food is sweet, and the networking is off the hook. So, I am with Funding Lane Solutions Group. I'm a hard money broker, and I'm just going to focus on a couple of rehab loans. One thing we're different there is we do. There's no monthly payments. Your monthly payments roll into the loan. You pay a little bit at closing, more at closing, but you have no monthly payments. Your advance, your rehab draws are in advance. We do up to 90% on the purchase and 100% on the rehab. We do rental loans. There's that good stuff. This is fairly new. How many's got short-term rentals, Airbnb?
A number of them spoke up for Airbnb.
We've got funding for that now. So here's a flyer. Oh, I'm sorry. Knock out the staff. We'll be back. I've got flyers for both that and the other stuff on the table here. That's me. I think y'all know how to get a hold of me. And finally, Manfred, if you'll slide back, I'll pull your slide up. The man of the hour, the century, Mr. Manfred.
How do you put it on? Oh, you got a full screen up
You
there.
just got it. Talk and clear.
See, I can't see that as far as the button.
You look up here.
So all right. So just the right button?
Yeah.
Okay. As I say, I've got so much to cover. I apologize with all the introductions, which we really need to network. But it'll be like drinking out of the fire hose in the beginning, which is another reason why you should join the RIG group as a member, because all of my presentations and other people's presentations, they're all on the website that Jim has created for the members. So you get all the data that's there so that you can review some of this stuff that in the beginning I'm going to go a little faster about. This is just my background and so forth, so that you can see, purchase Remax in Germany back in '95, get nice residual income out of that. Been instructors all over the world. I've taught in 78 countries. for 35 years to high net worth investors. Even Donald Trump sought me out back in '98, as John knows, and got my help in Dubai, where they checked around because they had problems with the red tape, and they said, you've got to find this German guy named Manfred, and he can help you out. So his assistant called me in Germany and said, Mr. Trump, I'd like to have lunch with you in either Dubai or New York. And then we had lunch in Dubai and so forth, helped him with the deal, and he was able to get it done. The point is, I've got, tons of stuff. I've done these things, as I said, for 30 years around the world, where I work from the macro. I've got boots on the ground in these 78 countries who send me feedback. So I start from that and go with that. Where I get my information, as someone had asked me before, it's I follow the trends in global, regional, got the boots on the ground all over the world. Of course, he's pulling out for a second, but
just keep talking.
all right, we've got everything. Look at my picture. Anyway, the point is, the background is there. I've done this for a long period of time, and now I'm in the give back phase of my life. So I just help others to do mentoring for people and things like that, and connect people, because I know so many people here that I connect, like Al in terms of Bitcoin, Steve in terms of tax problems, whatever you might have. I've got the connections there. My agricultural and hemp growing and hemp processing. We've got a hemp processing plant up in northeastern Colorado. And as I said, I've owned properties all over here and in Europe. And so that's all worked out very well for me. We're just working on the Zoom here right now, just for you to know.
Do you see it, Steve? You see that? Okay.
And what you'll find in the first part here, I'll first talk about commercial real estate in general across the U.S., residential real estate across the U.S., and then from there, we go into Colorado commercial and Colorado residential. And along the way, if you have questions, or if the people on Zoom have questions, we can do that as well. So we'll start over again. As I've got a number of degrees, but that's just because I'm old. And as I told you back then when I did this slide, I was 72. I'm going to move that up to 78. Here's the top takeaways that we're going to do tonight here. I said economic outlook for business, Colorado and the U.S., commercial real estate, changes, why and how much, residential real estate, changes, why and how much, interest rate in 2021, how often, and Colorado business, job growth in 21, population growth projection for 2021 and beyond, related effect on supply and demand. And so we'll do all that. Also, we'll talk about, potential of a downturn like 2007, although I disagree with my good friend Al, that, you want to be aware of that sort of stuff, and you're going to get a lot of people that send you stuff about that. Jim just sent me a video. But you'll see once I show you the numbers and what I've got in terms of working, I don't see that happening. It's different than 702, where the downturn was bank driven. I think the next downturn here is still 4 years at least away. I usually predict out 5 years. I wasn't that sure when we had the pandemic, so I was only willing to do 1 or 2 years. But you'll get all that, and then we'll talk about global tax proposals, then Biden tax proposals, what are pros and cons and whether they will take effect and to what extent, and then Colorado tax issues that we've got, in terms of ending the renter's relief, and so you can then might have to evict and see how many evictions are going to happen, and price-wise, et cetera. And then we have discussions on all of this. So feel free for your input all around the world, wherever I've taught. And I'm 81 years old now, but I'll plan to go another 30 years. So to me, I learn something each time. I find a golden nugget or an old golden friend again. So it's just great in terms of those things. But that gives you the overview, and I'll give that again once we're all the way done. All right, outlook for business, global, U.S. and Colorado. understand that, nowadays most of the companies are global. So what happens in one part of the world affects other places. Just like in India, where you still have a higher pandemic, or in Japan now, where I had planned to go to the Olympics because I went to Tokyo the last Olympics in 1964, and I figure there aren't that many people who went to both. But now they're not even having, local visitors, so the stadiums will be empty. So it'll just be a television event. That's all it's going to be. So, but along I said, because we were in such a downturn, we're going to have that economic upturn now. And that's something that we'd have GDP close to 6, but I think we'll be closer to 3.8 or 4, anyway, close to 4 if we don't quite get there. But we won't fully recover really now. I've got much more data than I had in February when I did the last presentation, where I think it will take to 2023 until we're back to totally normal like we were in 2018. But there are improvements all along the way, and we still have a growing population, and we have more people moving into Colorado, which I'll show you. And so, for people who are doing business here or in Oklahoma, where I've done a lot of things. I've taught there in Tulsa and in Oklahoma City. But I'm so happy you guys, I've always pictured you now on riding the trail, and I expect you to be on the West Coast, and you've probably been to all those places. But anyway, you have to see, so there will be new business starting, and as you've seen, stimulus checks, and some of that has helped because I believe that money doesn't flow down. I think money flows up. So if you pump the money at the bottom layer, they can buy diapers or whatever basic stuff, which then improves the next layer of people, and then the next layer of people, till you get to the people who are buying yachts or whatever. Because I keep getting hit up for me to buy a yacht, and I said, no, I've done that. Anyway,